Police running all in and out the building. What the hell is going on?
Hey, was Pete Carroll actually right?
What up, hello?
What's good? What's good? What's good, YouTube? What's good, Raider Nation? Yeah. Your boy is here. And I know y'all is here, you know what I'm saying, live at the Ahern. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. And hey, quit playing with yourself. Go ahead and subscribe. Y'all know what I gotta do. I gotta give y'all the Raider Twuan brown cracker salute. Remember, there is no Raider Twuan without the congregation, and there's no congregation without the Raider Nation. All right, hey, and you're trying to understand what the congregation is, you know what I'm saying? Those are the subscribers, and hey, we are on our way to 1K subscribers. Go ahead and subscribe, okay? It's completely free to do, and hey, that's how you can be a part of the big, and I mean the huge group of the congregation. Go ahead and join the congregation by hitting that subscribe button, all right? And don't be mean. Double tap that screen, all right? Go ahead and double tap the screen. Hit that like button. Why? Well, hey, you know, let me go ahead and do this one because I got somebody else that can tell you why you need to hit that screen.
Fucking Stizan. Twuan, hit that like button. Why? Because I like you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That's also how you'll be able to, you know what I'm saying, say your Raider gospel here on this channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're already in the congregation before you spit in your Raider gospel, all right? And I will be looking at your guys' comments in the comment section. So definitely, you know what I'm saying, put your Raider gospel down in the comment section, all right? Hey, also, I got to give, you know what I'm saying, a Raider Twuan brown cracker salute, you know what I'm saying, to the deacons. And you know, one of my deacons already know what's coming, and that's the brown crackers. Shout out to the deacons, all right? The deacons are going to be in the chat. They're going to be watching what's going on as I go on and give my Raider gospel here on this channel. So definitely don't be over there being disrespectful. Give your Raider gospel, but hey, be respectful because the deacons will be watching. Shout out to Rob Pinion, the deacons. Yes, sir. And let me give another quick shout out. You know what I'm saying? If you guys do not know, we added a new deacon. You know what I'm saying? We got a new deacon to the congregation. And shout out to Marcus Banks, you know what I'm saying? The newest deacon of the Raider Twuan and the congregation. All right, hey. I see some of you guys in their jackets in here. Daniel Berry is always in the building. Shout out to Daniel Berry. Okay. Salute to everybody that's in here watching, checking it out. You know what I'm saying? hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. All right, hey, is Pete Carroll right? Is he right? Y'all let me know what y'all feeling about Pete Carroll. You know what I'm saying? In the comment section, let me know how you feeling about the topic at hand. But we definitely got to talk about, is Pete Carroll right? And when you look at what transpired this past Monday night, you know what I'm saying, Monday Night Football against the Cowboys, there was some interesting and some alarming things that transpired that day. And if you're not, you know what I'm saying, if you ain't got your antennas on, you might have missed some of those ideas. You might have missed some of those thoughts. And unfortunately, it's a frustrating reality of where we are as the Raiders. Now, I will say, because again, I'm one of those ones. I was one of those ones on the bus. I was on the bus. I was like, hey, we're going to have a better season than what we had last season. Knowing that last season was a 4-13 season. And you know what? Looking at it, it might be tough. Even getting to 2 more games. To even match the 14-13 season. And that's just, you can call that Raider gospel, you can call that the reality, you can call that the truth, whatever you want to call it. That's the reality of where we are. And there was some things, you know, that I was hearing, because, you know, I like to keep my, you know what I'm saying, I like to keep my ear, you know what I'm saying, on the nation. And there were some things that people were saying, and I'm like, I don't know about that, player. And we're going to get into it today. And the best thing, and, you know, we'll see how long this live is, but, you know, this best thing is to go back. And this is what I've learned. And some people maybe need to learn this or maybe need to pick this up. But you have to, as painful as it is, and trust me, it is painful, you have to go back and look at and listen to these press conferences. Okay? You got to do it. I know it sucks. I know after a loss, you ain't trying to hear it. But if you're here with me and you've been here watching my lives during the press conferences, I always tell you, hey, you got to read in between the lines and pick up those little nuggets of knowledge and information that is released. And also, with that being said, when you're listening to these press conferences, you have to listen to what is said, but you also have to listen to what is not said to get that information in between the lines. But it's also right in your face. And tonight and today, we're going to go right into a press conference. Okay? We're going to go right into this press conference because we got to see what Pete Carroll was talking about. Let's go and take a listen to Pete Carroll in his post press conference. And I'll get back to you after this.
Rough night, man. We didn't get stuff done the way we wanted to on either side of the ball. And man, we were excited about the chance and wanted to go after these guys and go get them. You saw we were really aggressive throwing the ball in the first half. Got us out of balance run pass wise. I know that, but we had so many good opportunities, and Sheena was able to find his guys on the actions and all that it got us in the red area, and then we didn't function well, and we got sacked a little bit, we got hit a little bit, and didn't work out. I was really disappointed that we didn't stop them more. There was a space in that game. There were 3 or 4 drives in a row, and we couldn't get off the field. And it wasn't all third down stuff. They did a nice job. They have a really good offense, and they do a nice job with it. Obviously, Pickens was really a problem for us. And it wasn't just when he caught it. It was his after catch stuff that really was impressive, that he was able to run through us like that. I'm just surprised that we weren't able to be, because we knew he was a good player. We went in to defend him. We rolled to him. We covered him. We doubled him a couple times, and he still came through. So he had a heck of a night. And I don't even know Dak's numbers, but he must have had a pretty good night himself. 25-33, so he was on it. So very difficult night for us. Sorry about it. Feel bad.
Pete, you mentioned that the balance got out of whack there a little bit. It was 31 dropbacks in that first half, 3 runs. Is that? I mean, I can't imagine that that's something that you like to look at.
Yeah, it wasn't 31 dropbacks. It was a bunch of play action passes, and really, I really wanted to see us do that. There's only one person to look at, me, because I was influenced on the game plan. I loved the way we were chunking them, and we made big plays. But I knew what was happening, and Chip and I knew what was going on, but we were trying to stay with it and to see if we could continue to get the big plays, which we were getting, and then we just stalled in the red zone, and unfortunately, and we got the second drive, I think it was, or maybe it was the first drive. We got sacked a couple times, right off back to back, and it kind of got us out of whack a little bit. But I don't really care about pleasing people with our run pass mix. I'm trying to move the football, and we wanted to get the ball to Brock a bunch and see what he could do and our other guys, and that kind of worked out. But when you come back to it, we were supposed to be ahead with that approach, and then we're supposed to come back and run the football in the second half and later in the second quarter. But our inability to get in the zone and to stop them didn't work out that way. So I'm totally responsible for how that happened.
Pete, just what went into the decision to start Will Pettum at center and shift Jordan at right guard?
The competition during the time with this week and what's been happening the last 2 weeks, we've been looking at it. We tried combinations. We looked at all of it and felt like that was the best way we could go. Jordan had a really solid season at guard last year, and he felt really comfortable moving. And so, we tried. We tried Caleb. You guys were following that, and we looked at some different combinations, and this was the best way we thought to do it.
And just a follow up to that: is this a permanent change to the offense?
We're one day at a time right now on those kinds of choices. We'll come back tomorrow, see the film, see what happened, and look at our options.
The decision not to dress Caleb. I mean, are you kind of getting to the point where maybe it's time to go see some of those young players? Like
I think that's your guys' way of thinking. That's not our way of thinking. We're trying to win the games. We're trying to do the best and win the games. And I kind of thought that might come up. I don't know how to coach that way.
Pete, when you look at this offense and all the changes that came in the offseason, if there isn't some type of changes, is there a concern that you can send the message that there isn't accountability for the offense and it's being anemic?
I don't have a chance at understanding what that question was. So try it again, please.
Yes, sir. Is there a concern with all the changes that were made to the offense this season to fix how bad it was last year, and it's still struggling, that if you don't make changes to your offense, there's going to be concerns that it's not being held accountable like other areas of the team?
No, I don't. It's the last part of that question that I don't even know how to address. We're gonna take a look at everything we're doing, and which is what we do on a week-to-week, day-to-day basis. And we don't know. That's the only way you do it. And so as you're looking at this question to project in the future how we're going to look back at how we didn't get anything done, I really don't have a good answer for you. But every step we take, and I took the accountability. This is my football team, and I had a chance to do something on offense in this game, and we went after it. And some of it was promising, and some of it didn't work out in balance wise. And the score, because we couldn't stop them, it knocked us kind of out of whack a little bit the way we want to go about it. So, that's how it goes, and we're trying to do it right, and we'll keep working at it. There is a lot of guys that did play last year on this team in the offense. It's pretty much the same group up front. With the guys that are banged up, not so. But until this past week, without Colton, we have the guys that we've had, and so we're hoping that they're going to continue to grow and grow together. There's some youth in there and some inexperience that we're dealing with and trying to figure out how to bring our guys along. We would love to see Caleb play, and we would love to see Charles play, but it hasn't happened that way. They've got to show it in practice and show us that they're ready. We're not ignoring it at all. We're paying attention to it, but that's just part of the rigors of a season, particularly a difficult season, and your questions are warranted, and I have no problem with that, but I don't have answers for all of them.
Pete, I was wondering, just due to like having two starters on your offensive line out with injuries, how much did that impact the decision to be more pass heavy in this game instead of on the run?
I thought we really pass protected really well in the play action game. Look at it. We got sacked 3 sacks on drop back passes. So that was part of, we wanted to make sure that we were taking them into account by using the action passes. Okay. And so that's a way to play ball. And it's always part of our football. We just emphasized it more so to try to help them, and so as we look at it, we'll figure it out, when we can, when we can't. I always want to run the football more, but I don't care about when we run the football more. I like to win the games, get ahead, and kill it in the fourth quarter and run it 15 times in the fourth quarter. We haven't had that opportunity because we're not ahead. So, you guys know I've been doing this for a long time, and those thoughts and approaches, that's in the books. We've done it that way for a long time, and we're just not getting the chance because we're not ahead in the game, and we got to get out ahead.
All set.
Okay.
Hey everyone, I'm Brent, your Samsung SmartThings.
All right. Hey, look. We got. Hey, look. This is the reality of the situation. We looked at it. Pete Carroll said, "Hey, it was my choice." And this is where in the title of my live, I said there was a Band-Aid. Okay. A lot of people want to get on, and I know this is not going to be a popular decision or a popular take here, but a lot of people want to get on Chip Kelly. And there's two things here that stick out to me. Pete Carroll said that this was his choice. Okay, that's one. Okay, let me get into that because everybody wants to get on Chip Kelly, and you can't get on Chip Kelly when he's simply doing what his boss told him to do. Okay, just like if you was at your job and your boss tells you you need to do X, Y, and Z. You ain't going to do A, B, and E. If your boss tells you to do X, Y, and Z, you're doing X, Y, and Z. Okay? So that's one. Second point. Everybody wants to talk about Chip Kelly and his playbook. And, everybody coming into the season, everybody, was talking about, how Chip Kelly's playbook is going to be nice. He has a lot of things he can get out of his playbook. But with the play of this offensive line, what can you really call out of this playbook? And this is where the Band-Aid comes into play. Okay? The Band-Aid in this game, and this is a sad reality of it, the Band-Aid in this play against the Cowboys was the play action pass. You want to know why? Because the Cowboys have some really good defensive tackles. If they don't have some really good defensive tackles, they have a really good defensive line. And the only way that you can negate a good pass rush is to get them to move and get your quarterback to move off the pocket. You move the pocket, you give your wide receivers just a little more time to get open. You move the pocket, you're getting away from Quinnen Williams and crew. You move the pocket, then our quarterback is not sitting in the pocket looking like a statue, getting ready to get hit. So the game plan of the play action pass, which Pete Carroll was talking about, that was right. That was the right thing to do. And you have other people talking about, oh, give the ball to Ashton Jeanty, hand the ball out to Ashton Jeanty. Did we not see the brick wall that Ashton Jeanty was running into? Did we not see that Ashton Jeanty was getting hit behind the line of scrimmage? Because our offensive line couldn't block the run? And that they were getting penetration on all areas of the court, on the field. That's the issue. So to have a play action pass, which was working, we saw that working. The only reason why we didn't get up points was because we were in the red zone. And this is where our trouble is in the red zone. It goes back to the offensive line. Because when you look at in the game of football, let me just break this down for you guys. Let me give you a little Raider gospel on this. When you get into the red zone, it's not about how fancy your play is. Yes, there is a degree of that, but it really comes down to your man against my man. You remember, you guys remember the goal line formation? What is the goal line formation? You line up and we line up and the strongest man wins. And guess what? The Raiders are not the strongest man. In fact, we are on our second and third string offensive linemen against their ones. So what kind of push? And let me rewind this a little bit. Because even when we had our ones, what kind of push did we get on this offensive line? very, very non-existent. Okay. And you guys want to talk about, oh, Genty got that 11-yard run. The reason why we got that 11-yard run because that was on a draw, where the defense thought we were passing the ball. And then he ran it. So there's issues with this offensive line. And there's always been issues with this offensive line. If you guys have been with me for the longest, if you guys have been a part of the congregation since the beginning of the season, I've said we need to address this offensive line. And the play action pass, again, the play action pass against a hungry defense line, Quentin Williams was going to go out there hunting and feasting all game. So with that, when you have an over-aggressive defensive line, the play action pass is what actually works. But it only really works in the 20s. When you start getting into that red zone, you're going to need to power up. And unfortunately, this offensive line, from the ones to the twos to the threes, they ain't got the power. So was it the right call? Was the play calling right? Yes. Yes. Why? Because it's a game of matchups, ladies and gentlemen. Nation, it's a game of matchups. And the Cowboys have put on tape that they can't tackle in space. So that's why you dump the ball off to Genty and hope that he breaks a tackle and runs it for a touchdown. And you guys have known for the longest, I call Genty the Baptist, because he has put on tape that he will slide that first linebacker and challenge that defensive back to make business decisions. And he'll give him that good old stiff arm and baptize him. That's what Genty does in the pass game. So when you go back and look at the stats and you see, oh, he didn't get the ball handed to him, but he did get the ball passed to him, those opportunities were in play. So all those that are saying fire Chip Kelly, hey, look, I can see both sides. There are some things that Chip Kelly has done that I will say, hey, look, what you doing, Chip? But I will say that Chip has done the best he can with what he has. Because you cannot tell me that Chip Kelly can run a really good offense behind this offensive line. Let's be honest. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. Let's give the real Raider gospel. What can Chip Kelly really call out of his playbook? Hand it off to Genty, negative yards. traditional drop back pass, Geno's getting sacked. Because anytime you ask Geno to drop back and try to trust his offensive line, it has failed. And we saw that a little bit with the Cowboys, not as much because they really used a lot of the play action pass. They probably, to be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie to you, they probably used every play action pass in their playbook against the Cowboys, as much as they used it. But you have a situation where the traditional drop back 3-step, 5-step, Geno can't sit in that pocket. He cannot sit in that pocket has to move. And in order for that pocket to create a new pocket, Geno has to drop back and roll out. Where it takes the defensive tackle a little bit longer to get to him. And that's why the play action pass was so successful. But we were having troubles in the red zone. And I told you why we have the problems in the red zone. The problem in the red zone is that we can't force our way to 7. There was a time where when we had, and look, here I'll say the names. Some people are scared to say the names. When we had Derek Carr and Josh Jacobs, when we were in the red zone, we knew what time it was. First and goal and at the 5, we knew what time it was. Josh Jacobs was getting that ball. At least 2 times. And everybody knew we was going to do it. Because guess what? When you start looking at all these other teams in the league, first and goal at the 5, they're running the ball. They play that game that their offensive line, hey, my offensive line is going to beat your D line. And unfortunately, we cannot play that game. Now, I will say this make sure you guys hit that like and hit that subscribe button because I got some other things I got to tell y'all in this Raider gospel. Hit that, double tap the screen. Don't be mean. Go ahead and double tap that screen. And, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe. All right? Pete Carroll also said this. Because everybody wants everybody wants Caleb and everybody wants Charles to play on this O-line. Despite what our record may be, Pete Carroll said, we trying to win. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, where you got to read in between the lines. And reading in between the lines can get you multiple avenues. Okay? And I'm going to try to give you a few of them. Now, he said the best way to win was not to play our rookie offensive lineman. Lane 1. Is there a disconnect between Pete Carroll and John Spytek, which a lot of people are not really talking about, but needs to be talked about? Is there an issue between the cook and the groceries? The person shopping for the groceries. You guys let me know in the comment section how you guys feel about that one. But there is an issue. When you drafted some offensive linemen in the 3rd round, but they can't see the field. If he said the best way to win, that's what we're going to do. That tells me that these players, these rookies, these guys that for some reason cannot see the field, they're not showing what they need to show in practice. Because the way you practice is the way that you play. And obviously, these guys on the offensive line, obviously these rookies that are not getting play time when it seems like everybody on the offense ain't good. That's troublesome. That is very troublesome. And this is where I have an issue with John Spytek. Okay? John Spytek is responsible for player evaluation. John Spytek is responsible for getting players in here to build a competitive roster. When obviously it seems like there's no competition. Okay? When I look at 1st round picks, when I look at 2nd round picks, when I look at 3rd round picks, and maybe even a little 4th round picks, a little bit of that. Okay? Not always 4th round, but definitely 1, 2, and 3 rounds. When looking at player evaluation and value, we should be looking at 1st round, 2nd round, 3rd round. This is the rule for the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd rounders. That player, after being drafted, hey, I don't have to play this guy, but if I need to, he's ready. 1st, 2nd, 3rd round. On a good team, when you have a good team, that 1st, 2nd, 3rd round may not be an immediate starter because obviously there might be somebody, you know what I'm saying? There might be already a Pro Bowler. There might be already a proven vet that's in there doing his job. But if I need to call on that first, second, or third rounder coming off the bench, that player's abilities, that player's talent should be enough to where he should be able to plug and play. And that's not the case here. So my issue is you drafted some third rounders that should be draft and ready to play, or draft and be a backup rotational guy, and they're not fulfilling that role for us. We're literally bringing in guys off the practice squad to leapfrog our draftees and starting those guys. So my issue is with John Spytek. Why are our draftees, these guys that you said are values and guys with talent, why are they barely, if that, getting playtime? Where Pete Carroll says, we're playing the best guys in order for us to win. And the best guys in order for us to win is Ashton Genty with a little sprinkle of Jack Besh. Very small sprinkle of Jack Besh. And a little dash of Darian Porter. That's that we can go on and on about how bad that is for our team. A team that doesn't already, a team that's top heavy with injuries and has already struggled with depth. You know, I can keep going with John Spytek and also bring out the fact that we saw how bad this offensive line was last year. And you, an evaluator of talent, what made you think that this offensive line was going to get better? I'll wait. What's the definition of insanity? Go ahead and put that in the chat. What is it? Because that's where we are. I thought that I was going to y'all knew how bad I lost it. And this is I gotta pull the old tape. The old tape, okay? Y'all know how I felt about Andre James. Well, flash of the past. What did I call Andre James? Andre negative 3,000. Why did I call Andre James Andre negative 3,000? Because he got pushed back At least negative 300 yards, 3,000 yards. Every time the ball was snapped, Andre James was getting blown back. No pause. So we get rid of Andre James. Thank God. And now our five, outside of Colton Miller and his injury, all look like Andre James. And that offensive line that we see right now, you cannot tell me if I'm lying. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. But you can't tell me that you don't see 5 Andre negative 3,000s. You cannot tell me that. So it goes back to the original statement and the original thought. What can Chip Kelly call out of this playbook? Because again, what the Cowboys' game plan was, as much as people may not like it, as much as people may not understand really what's going on, that is exactly what needed to be done. And it wasn't even successful. Because we didn't win. Successful in between the 20s. But outside of that, just like one of my friends in the chat is, no bueno. Shout out to I'm no bueno. No bueno. Translation, not good. So if you ask me if Pete Carroll was right, he's right. He's trying to do the best he can. You can't hand it off to, and I've noticed this, and this, you know, I'll put it out there. I was trying to hold it because I don't want, you know what I'm saying, I don't want the ops to figure it out, but obviously we figured out that we can't do it. You cannot run the ball in between the tackles. Our best option, if you're going to run the ball, is to run it outside and pray that our tackle can contain that end so that our running back can get outside. Because we're even having issues with that. You can't run behind our guards. Obviously, our centers are getting blown back. They're automatically going this way instead of going that way. So you're praying that DJ Glaze and Stone Forsythe can move their body, you know what I'm saying, kind of block that. So Genty can get, behind them and get on the outside. That's why you seen they tried to pitch it outside and swing, get away from that line, because that line ain't gonna help you. And we're not having success there. That's why Gino's dropping back. And if he don't see anything downfield, he's dumping it to Genty because it's on the outside. And hopefully Genty can break a tackle. It is not good. And unfortunately, in preparations for the Cleveland Browns, that might be the same plan. We might have to do the same game plan. Because their D-line is just as good as the Cowboys' D-line. And if we're going to have some form of success, it's going to have to be through the play-action pass. You try to do a traditional drop back with Myles Garrett and that D-line, good luck. You try to just do a traditional handoff with Ashton Genty, you're really risking it. The best option, again, is what we saw last week, and people hate that game plan. But in order for us to move the ball, as much as Geno Smith right now seems like he hasn't been the best passer, and we can talk about, I'm going to talk a little bit about that too, because it's not really all on Geno either. It goes back to this offensive line. But in order for us to move the chains, it's going to be through our pass game. Even though our pass game is not the best. Geno has not been accurate. Everybody can see that. But not all of it is on Geno. Balls hitting players' hands, bouncing off of their hands, and interceptions. Geno having to rush his throws because of the lack of protection of the offensive line. Those are some of his bad passes and interceptions. How many people, and I'm asking you this seriously, if you were quarterback, how many of you guys would confidently be able to sit in that pocket that we have? I don't see anybody saying, yeah, I could sit in that pocket. And that's our reality. That's why in my last live, I told you what the game plan is, and I'll give it to you again. Spend money. On this offensive line. I only have 2 starters on this offensive line. Returning starters. Colton Miller, JPJ. I'm spending money everywhere else. Colton Miller, JPJ. Guard. I personally want JPJ at center. But if they want to keep him at guard, I'll deal with that. Okay? So whether it's 2 guards and a right tackle we're spending money on, or 1 guard, 1 center, and a right tackle, that's what we're spending money on. I'm not getting that in the draft. Why? Because we got Charles and Caleb. And whoever was a starter last year, the Merediths and the Parhams and Kappas, and y'all better compete for a backup spot. If not, you can be on the next Spirit fly out of here. But I'm changing that whole offensive line, keeping Colton Miller because obviously he's been the mainstay. Maybe bringing a guy behind him because we know Colton Miller is getting close to that age, also with health. But we have JPJ. Then, hey, you might be asking, Twuan, what are you talking about? We still got the draft. What you going to do with that? All defense. And if you have a quarterback that you like really like, you get them in the late first round. So what that means is my number 1 pick is going to be a D lineman, whether edge or D tackle. Okay? With my number 2 second round pick, I'm going to, if there's a quarterback there, I'm going to move up with that second round pick, get that quarterback, and the rest of my draft is all defense. Safety. Linebacker. Corner. I'm addressing all those areas. Why? Because we have Max Crosby and a bunch of number 1s. Okay? And when I say number 1s, I'm talking about Max Crosby and a bunch of guys on 1-year deals. There's not too many guys on our defensive side that are on a long-term deal. Which tells you how bad our depth is on our roster. So that's my game plan. That's my Raider gospel. That's the plan to success. John Spytek, Peter Carroll, and Mark Davis. You want to win? Adopt that plan. Holla at me. I'll do some consultation for a reasonable and low price. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to just hook me up with some season tickets for me to be your consultant. That might be it. That might be that. I'm not saying that we haven't put pen to paper yet, but you know what I'm saying? You give me some season tickets, I might be able to consult some game plans with you and really tell you how to be successful. Some things I got from Max Crosby that can make him a better player. You think Max Crosby's good now? Max Crosby, come holler at me. Come holler at me. I got a few things you can work on to even make you better. And put this out. Y'all blast this because that needed to be said. Okay? We got to do better. We got to play better. We got to execute better. And some of these guys, unfortunately, they're not it. Hey, can you bring in your playbook? Yeah, bring in your playbook. All right, thank you. Oh, okay, you're leaving. Okay. Matter of fact, what destination would you like for us to get you a flight to? Okay, you want to go back east? Okay, we'll get you we'll get you that flight. Yeah. Thank you for you know what I'm saying. Unfortunately, yeah, but your Spirit flight leaves at 408. Yeah, it leaves at 408. So make sure you get to the airport, you know what I'm saying, at least an hour or two, you know what I'm saying, before your flight, because we don't want you to miss it. We don't want you to miss that 408 flight. Okay. But Spirit will make sure, you know what I'm saying, Spirit Airlines, just Spirit Airline 408. Yeah, make sure you're there before 408. All right. That's where we are. That's where we are. So we'll see what we got. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna look in the chat, see what you guys got, and you know, we're gonna talk about it for a little bit longer. But make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Quit playing with yourself and subscribe. And
yeah, no, I can definitely help you out with that. Anything else? No? Just always remember, go Raiders.
Because we are on our way to 1K. And I need you to hit that subscribe button. Okay? For shizzle. All right. Let me see what the congregation has to say. Jack said, "What up? What up, Jack? Blessings to you today. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man. For shizzle." All right. Certainly, but not his best performance by him. Hey, look, hey, Pete Carroll was telling it like it was. Unfortunately, that's the reality, and it wasn't his best performance. Monday Night Football, you know, it's embarrassing. You know, it is embarrassing. Frank said, hey, play action worked until Dallas stopped, you know. You can only do it so much. You can only do the play action pass and just certain plays in general. You run the same play over and over and over again. Most NFL teams, they're going to pick up on it. Okay, you're not going to fool a team the whole game with one style of play. That's why you have a playbook, so you can get through all those things. But when you're limited and you can only do this because this is what's going to allow us to just get by, and that's where the Band-Aid is, right? The Band-Aid is, I'm calling this because I have to mask this. But I also have to mask this, and I got to cover up this. Right? And it's frustrating because you know that Chip Kelly has an extensive playbook. He knows, you know what I'm saying, he can call up and dial up. We've seen Chip Kelly run a good offense, whether it was college or NFL. So we know Chip can do, but I think a lot of people miss the aspect of they take Ohio State as a barometer, right? And unfortunately, with that being the barometer, the talent that he had at Ohio State at the college level is not the talent that he has on the NFL level. Ohio State's up here. Raiders are way down here. So when you got almost like an all-star team, you can just call stuff and the most basic stuff and it'll work. He can't do that here with the Raiders because our talent is not even on that level. He said, it felt like you looked into my soul. Hey, look, hey, I ain't, don't try to put that on me, but I'm here to give that Raider gospel. Shout out to Nightbot. I'm reading Nightbot just going crazy in the chat. Okay, I'm reading your comment on the side, Nambono. He said I loved if we took Caleb Downs, in the draft, round 1. He will be the Brock Bowers of our secondary. Hey, and there's a lot of players there in the draft. You know what I'm saying? I haven't really got fully into it. There is some guys that I do like, and I looked at a little bit, but not really dive too deep in it because I've been so immersed in the NFL. We got to get pillars. And when I say pillars, I'm talking about those like the Max Crosbys. We got to get guys like Ashton Genties. We got to get, those Brock Bowers. And just keep building guys like that within this roster. And it's going to take more than a year to do that. Get to a place where our drafts are breeding talent. And we're not going to have to pay 1-year rentals. Excuse me. We have to pay 1-year rentals for players that ain't really wasn't wanted from other teams. Kicking tires on guys that have names but are really not that anymore. John Leon said it takes 3.5 seconds for a quarterback to make a decision. Hey, look, and you know what? We don't even have 3.5. We don't have 3.5. Shout out to you in the chat. Rare New Central in the building. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, I wish we had 3.5. But when you start looking at, again, go back and look at, I know some of you guys don't have the all 22, and that's fine. But just even go back and look at these highlights, because these highlights you're showing how quick, as soon as the ball is snapped, the D line is already breaking the pocket. We got offensive linemen falling and but breaking their butts. You know what I'm saying? Falling on their butts when the ball is snapped. What happened? What happened on that safety against the Cowboys? No push. Genty had nowhere to go. The play, and that's why it. Two-play scenario. Okay? First play would have actually worked if we didn't false start. Because the first play was a pitch to the outside. Remember, I told you, if you're going to run the ball, the best option is to really pitch it out. It was a pitch out, and false start. That pulled us back to the 1 or to the 2, I think. 1 or 2. But it pushed us back because we were already close to the goal line. So we were trying to get out of it, get out of the danger zone by trying to run it to the outside. So because they already saw that we were going to run it to the outside, what was the next play? Run it right to the inside. And where was that push? If you ever get a chance, go and watch. And I know some of you guys don't like him, but there were some things said, and I wish I could pull it up real quick for you guys. But go watch Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, and Derek Carr commentating that game. And watch what they say on that goal line scenario. Okay? I'll just leave it there. I'll give there goes your homework for the day. Go ahead and take a look at that. And come back and tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. All right. Now, I will say this, you guys. We will I think that's good. I think we got enough, you know what I'm saying, of what happened against the Cowboys. I think also that would be the same game plan that we'll see tomorrow against Shador and Myles Garrett, because I think that's the best way we'll have success. Best possible way that we could have success. And I'm hoping we win, because there'll be a whole lot of eyes. Even though it's not a primetime game, it is a primetime game because of who we're playing. All puns intended. Prime might even be in the building. But that's the reality of where we are. We're playing every game so that we're not the laughing stock of the NFL. And I'm keeping my side eye emoji on John Spytek. Because y'all know I'm all about the groceries. Yeah, I'm all about the groceries. And in order for us to get better, we have to be more concerned about the groceries we bring in. Moving forward. We definitely got to be more mindful of that. Hey, you guys, real quick, I got to give some love. We're going to quick shout out to major, you know what I'm saying, major level entertainment. You know what I'm saying? The major level, you definitely want to be a subscriber to that. You know what I'm saying? Lakers, you know what I'm saying? Entertainment, you name it. Good conversation, good talk. Salute to you, my brother, for coming in. Appreciate you for coming in. Definitely be a subscriber to my boy Major. All right. He my boy, but he also, you know what I'm saying, that's big uncle, you know what I'm saying? That's Unc, you know what I'm saying? Some people got Uncle Shay, you know what I'm saying? And I don't care what you say, but this is major, you know what I'm saying? Major level over here, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Major. Salute to you, brother. But yeah, hey, make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe button. We're gonna see what we're gonna do against these Browns. You know what I'm saying? I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful because I really don't want to deal with another loss. But hey, you know, it is what it is. And you guys know I will be talking about it next week. So you do not want to miss that. Also, I do promo on I will do a promo on Sunday service. Okay. We will have Sunday service. You know what I'm saying? This Sunday. Did I click on it? Oh, that's the background. We will be having Sunday service. So you do not want to miss that. Despite win or loss tomorrow, I will have some positive words for you. And I believe that'll be at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. tomorrow. We will have Sunday service. Very short. It's going to be less. It's going to be less than an hour. Less than an hour. I'm going to go up here. You know what I'm saying? Give you what the Lord gave me. And get up out. So you do not want to miss that tomorrow. Here at Raider Twuan, we are advocates for being an organ donor. So please be an organ donor. All right. That information is down in the description of all my videos and all my lives. Okay. That is available to you. Okay. Also here, you can get some motivation. You know what I'm saying? Get you a text in the morning or text in the day for some positive, you know what I'm saying, spiritual words. And all you have to do is text connect to the number 510-345-1660. Okay? Text the word connect to the number 510-345-1660. That is a daily text, daily motivation, gives you a scripture, helps you live a little better, you know what I'm saying? Makes your day a little bit better, you know what I'm saying? And you can get that right there. Text the word connect to 510-345-1660. Okay. Also, if you want to be a financial blessing to this channel, this is how you can do it. Send it to Venmo at Twuan. Okay. Also, Cash App, $Twuan. Okay. Come on now. Get involved. Get active. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, send a little Venmo Cash App. And definitely it goes back to the channel. Okay. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you guys in there. Nightbot is doing his thing. But I appreciate you guys coming in. Make sure you guys are hitting that like and subscribe button. Please share this out. Put this in Facebook, Twitter, X. You know what I'm saying? Share it with your ex. You know what I'm saying? Moco space. And make sure Raider Twuan and the congregation is in the place. All right? And you guys already know what I'm about to say. You're a blessing. Be a blessing to someone else. And let's go, Raiders.
What up, hello?
Today is the day when our heroes of the past become our legends of the future. Time never really stops for the great ones. We wrap them in a cloak of immortality and remember what great people they were. We recognize you, Virginia Man, his sons Mike and Joey. They were a football family, so that John can pursue his dreams. Tonight is going to on the road, and a tribute to Virginia Man and all victims. We declare that the fire that burns the brightest in the Raiders organization is the will to win. Ladies and gentlemen, the Madden family.
Hey, Raider Twuan here. You must watch one of my videos or lives. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and it's right there. Or if you want to watch one of my videos, watch it right there. And let's go, Raiders.